Remembering President Russell M. Nelson. A life of service and change. It is with sadness that we mark the passing of Russell Marion Nelson Sr., the 17th President of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, LDS Church. President Nelson, who passed away peacefully at his home in Salt Lake City on September 27, 2025, at the age of 101, leaves behind a remarkable legacy spanning both a distinguished medical career and a transformative period of spiritual leadership. Early life and world-renowned medical career. Born on September 9, 1924, in Salt Lake City, Utah, Russell M. Nelson was the son of Marion C. and Edna Anderson Nelson. His life demonstrated a powerful commitment to education and service. He received his BA and MD degrees from the University of Utah, completing his MD at just 22 years old. Following this, he served a 2-year term of medical duty in the U.S. Army during the Korean War, serving in Korea and Japan. He continued his medical training with a residency in surgery at Massachusetts General Hospital in Boston and a Ph.D. from the University of Minnesota in 1954. Before his full-time church service, President Nelson was a pioneering cardiothoracic surgeon. He was part of the team that developed the first artificial heart-lung machine used in Utah for open-heart surgery. He held positions such as research professor of surgery and director of the thoracic surgery residency at the University of Utah. He performed open-heart surgery on then-president of the LDS Church, Spencer W. Kimball, years before his own call to apostleship. Family life. President Nelson's personal life was characterized by a large and devoted family. First marriage. He married Dancel White in 1945. Together, they had 10 children, 9 daughters and 1 son. Dancel passed away in 2005 after nearly 60 years of marriage. Second marriage. In 2006, he married Wendy L. Watson, a professor of marriage and family therapy. He is survived by his wife, Wendy, 8 of his 10 children, 57 grandchildren, and more than 167 great-grandchildren. Service as a leader of the church. President Nelson was called as an apostle on April 7, 1984, serving for nearly 34 years in the Quorum of the 12 Apostles. He became the president of the Quorum in 2015. On January 14, 2018, he was sustained and set apart as the 17th President and Prophet of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, succeeding Thomas S. Monson. Despite being 93 at the time, his presidency was marked by tremendous energy and significant, frequent changes. Key changes and ministry highlights. Emphasis on the full name of the church. A major theme was the push to use the full and correct name of the church. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, often discouraging the use of the term Mormon. He famously called the shortened versions a major victory for Satan. Organizational and policy adjustments. His tenure saw the replacement of home and visiting teaching with a more personalized, ministering program and the significant shortening of Sunday worship services from 3 hours to 2. Temple building. President Nelson announced an unprecedented number of new temples across the globe, reaching a total of 200 announced temples during his presidency. Worldwide ministry. He engaged in extensive global travels, visiting 32 countries and U.S. territories, reflecting his commitment to a global ministry. Cooperation with civil rights leaders. He fostered a notable relationship with the NAACP leadership. Controversies and criticisms. Like any major religious figure, President Nelson's tenure was not without criticism, particularly from those outside or who had left the church. Racial and LGBTQ+ issues. Some critics pointed to a lack of a direct, strong condemnation of past racial doctrines of the church or perceived insufficient progress on LGBTQ+ inclusion issues, particularly the reversal and ultimate removal of the controversial November 2015 policy on same-sex families. Wealth of the church. The vast financial holdings of the church, which became public knowledge during his presidency, drew criticism, especially in light of the church's encouragement of tithing from members in poorer regions. The November 2015 policy. The exclusion policy concerning children of same-sex couples, which was initially presented as a revelation and later reversed, was a point of contention and confusion for many members and observers. Embellished personal stories. Earlier biographies and talks included stories, such as the one about a woman wearing a hat at a church meeting, that were later found to contain significant inaccuracies or exaggerations and were removed from subsequent accounts, leading some to question the narrative surrounding his divine guidance. Despite any controversy, President Nelson's unwavering devotion and call for members to focus on the Savior, serve others, and think celestial, have defined his era of leadership. His legacy is one of a beloved physician who physically and spiritually dedicated his life to healing and helping others prepare for the future.